Bitcoin, Bitcoin, Bitcoin. It's nice to see the Bitcoin finally making a move up, trying to break out above its all-time highs. And we're a little bit above the all-time highs now. So this is a trade I'd put on yesterday, and it's making that move up. So this is the Bitcoin future, and I talk a lot about how there are advantages to trading the futures contracts, equities or different indices. So like the S&P 500, I like trading the futures on that. The Bitcoin, I have actual Bitcoin, but then I also try to do trades like this on the Bitcoin futures. And futures is a great alternative to holding the underlying. So instead of actually holding the like the SPY ETF for the S&P 500, or instead of holding Bitcoin, someone could just hold long contracts on the futures, and they get leverage out of it that way. And I think more people should consider trading the futures in some way with it. Looking at the daily chart, so this is the hourly chart. Let me pull up the daily chart. One reason I was wanting to get long here, because we were getting a bull flag, and we were getting a breakout of that bull flag. So here's the strong move up, couple pullbacks, and you can see how this has, the price was really held between these two channel lines here, right? This line here. So here's the first touch, second touch, third, fourth, fifth, and then the market breaks through it, and then it pulls back and touches it again, but now it's on the other side, and then it's also touching the moving average. And so I was trying to buy during this area in here and trying to do a swing trade out of it. So bull flag, we're also right at the all-time highs over here. And so, when I see this just looks like a market that is coiled tightly and it's wanting to spring. And so would I want to scalp here? Like, would I want to go for a small profit? No. If this is a possible breakout pattern and a breakout above an new all-time high, there's no ceiling. We don't have a piece of resistance that's obvious up here for the market to be stopped at. So I'd rather be swing trading. So I'd rather hold it for several times my risk. And let me go back to the hourly chart. So this is what I see on the daily chart, and that's what drew my eye to the trade. And let me show you what I actually saw on the 5-minute chart. I'll scroll back to it. And so here's where I entered on the 5-minute chart. So we had that breakout potential on the daily chart, and then on the 5-minute, we had these 4 strong bull bars up. And just from my experience and from the patterns that we're setting up, this looks like this is the place it's going to break out at. If the market's going higher, it's probably going higher from this point, and it's probably not going to come back down here. And we can see since then that's what's occurred. So we're at all-time highs in Bitcoin. It's nice to see. It's kind of been hovering around that 100,000 to 110 for a few months now. So it's nice to see a breakout above. What I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to just raise my stop up. So now, if this ends up as a failed breakout above, then I'll at least get a few ticks out of it. So, I'll avoid a loss on the trade at this point. And I have a profit target right before 120,000. I wouldn't mind holding it longer, maybe to 130,000. But I think in this case, I'm just going to go ahead and take it off at 120. So if this works out and it goes up to 120, then that was about a 10-to-1 risk reward ratio trade. So this is how I would do Bitcoin. I wouldn't really day trade it, be in and out in a few minutes. I would rather look for bullish patterns and then try to take swing trades on that. So, I think that's an alternative to holding Bitcoin, would be to maybe buy these futures contracts, and you can still trade it, right? You can still treat it as a technical instrument based on price action, but just try to do a larger time frame and something like Bitcoin. So let's say you're bullish on Bitcoin. You think one day it's going to be 200, 300,000. Then you want to look for bullish setups. Or if you're bearish on Bitcoin, then you'd want to wait for those bearish setups. So whichever mode you're in, right? Whatever premise you have, if your premise is bullish, then try to look for the bullish setups. About 5 minutes after I placed the trade, I'd mentioned this on Discord. So here's a section that everyone can use. It's a post your trades section. And so this is where I posted mine. So about 5 minutes after I explained I'm long Bitcoin, and I put my plan in there to hold till 120,000. And I explained why I was buying. And Shifty and I had a few messages back and forth about it. But yeah, so check out the Discord. You can place your own trades in here, and I'll give you feedback, and other people will chip in. If you just want to show off a trade, or if you have questions on a trade, you want my feedback on that, and then that's what this section is for. We have a few other sections on the Discord. There's a just chatting section. You can go in and just to talk about whatever you'd like. Another section that I'd like if it was used more often is this video request section. Now you can always just message me directly, but if you'd like, there's this chat here, and if you have an idea for a YouTube video or something that you want me to take a look at, or maybe review your trades that you think would make a good video, then just go ahead and post it here. And so in the past, Angle Trades here, he had put in a request, and I was able to make that video for him. So there's also things like I try to do some stock news every once in a while. Travel trading. You guys know I like traveling to different countries and trading there. For a lot of traders, that's what inspires them is to do trading. Is that you don't have to be stuck in one place and go to the office 5 days a week. You can actually go anywhere, and as long as you have that internet connection, then you can place trades. And so I was kind of putting in just some data in here. Like these were posted this back in May. So in May, what are the best places in the world to go travel to? Like what places have the best weather for May and June? And so I'd posted that in there for anyone considering traveling. So I'll just do little things like that. So yeah, the Discord, it's a useful resource. You can put your own input in there, and I can get back to you on it. Right? It's a great way for us to kind of have back and forth. So if you're interested, there's a lot of resources on there. And so yeah, the link will be in the description for you to join. So once again, it's nice to see Bitcoin breaking above here. This is the pattern that I was seeing, this bull flag breakout and the pullback to the bull flag and then buy. That's a classic breakout pattern. And you want to be swing trading from there. There's a lot of profit potential. So if you do end up winning, then you want to be able to collect all that profit. And so with my trade, I'm going to leave it how it is now. Either it goes up to 120 and I get filled, or I get stopped out on a pullback to 111. So that might happen tonight, the way Bitcoin moves. Beyond 120, what might we be looking at? Well, a very basic, just measured move. We've been in this trading range for a while. A very basic measured move would put us up around 150. So two things are at that level. One is this measured move. And then two, 150 is just a big round number. It's just a psychological number. It's important, right? When people are thinking, what's the ceiling? When people give their predictions, they'll use those round numbers, 150,000, 200,000, 1 million. They don't say 746,200. They give a more even number, a more significant number. So this measured move puts us up around 150. I don't have a time period on where I would think that would go, but as far as thinking about resistance levels, I think that would be an important resistance level and also an important target. So as the market's moving up and we get closer to 150, then the market might rapidly move up to that to test it. I'll draw a little path on here. So as the market works up, these sellers may stop selling because they see an important level above, and the buyers see it as well. So then you're left with no sellers, and then it's only buyers. So that last little bit, it just gets vacuumed up, it just really quickly moves up to the target, and you'll see that happen a lot. So this swing trading like this, where your trades last multiple days or weeks, and you just kind of along for the trend. Those are great trades. Sometimes it can be stressful because you'll be sleeping, or you're trying to sleep, and your trade's on. But if that's happening and you're worried about it, then you're probably trading too large. But outside of that, it's nice if there's a long trend that's taken several months to play out, and then you're just kind of riding that along. Then that's a good way to do it. So that is one great thing if you learn trading, is you can trade a shorter time frame or a longer time frame. Like the shorter time frame, posted a video on Monday or Tuesday where I did a buy the close on the E-mini. And so if you want to check out that, I'll have that at the end of this video. So yeah, that's all I got. This is the Bitcoin trade, and thank you guys for watching.